Hey, Janelle Garcia here with Janelle Skin, and this is where pretty meets power. This is where we are no longer prescribing to aging gracefully and being content with just aging. We're going to do it with poise and with power. And I'm also going to share some insights into my journey of 31 years in the treatment room, along with my thirst for personal growth. So welcome. So I was recently given the opportunity to speak on a podcast, and I'll be putting that out there here soon to shout out to Kim with Feed Your Soul by Kim. And I was so excited to just get to share some things that have been on my mind. And, it just kind of felt like a couple girlfriends were sitting around chatting. And I wanted to share some of my thoughts about it. And, I was talking about feminine fuel and what that means to me. And my interpretation is that I really want it to be a type of a movement for all of us. And simply put, what feminine fuel means to me is leading our days and our lives with beauty, letting beauty take the lead. And listen, I know I'm in the beauty business, so you're probably thinking this is all about that surface stuff like facials and skincare and all the things. And it's really not. The beauty I'm talking about is the beauty that calls to you, the beauty of pleasure, of play. I kind of want us to be a little full of ourselves, like really taking the time to pay attention to what calls to us, how certain things are feeling in our bodies, and what it is that draws us in, that adds a little bit of just richness to our lives. And so to me, beauty is very individual, and I'm very intentional about the word feminine fuel. Feminine being that, I do think that women are, we're having a moment. We're rising above, and not just from the whole Me Too or even from a political standpoint. I just think that women are starting to get that, we get to be a little more feisty, a little bit more challenging. We get to speak up a little bit more. And feminine fuel it's that fuel that allows for you to tap into all the things feminine that speak to you. And beauty, like leading our lives with beauty, is very unique. It's very individual. And you get to call that. But when we pull back and look at how overmasculated women have been because we're just in that doing all the time, feminine is about receiving, being a little bit more open, like letting our bodies kind of talk to us, and that innate wisdom that sometimes we underutilize, because let's face it, we're in our heads a lot. We're consuming a lot. We're comparing ourselves to others. We're creating a lot of overwhelm and not enoughness. And we definitely are still doing the hustle culture. So more than ever, this letting beauty lead us a little bit is a type of slowing down, a type of savoring. I love how one of my mentors talks about sauntering through our task and the things that we need to do, not that rushed sense of go, go, go. And so I just want to, just talk about what that even looks like. And of course, again, surely it's as individual as what beautiful is to each of us. And a great example is letting that which draws us in, that calls us, that stirs our soul, that longing, whether it's outside in nature or, just meditating. But I do think it comes down to the simple slowing of our lives down enough to listen, to follow the glimmers and those little breadcrumbs that lead us to this sacred place, to feel enriched and to feel content, and to seek out the pleasures that speak to us, that fuel us, that, give us a sense of renewal. Yes, I am being intentional with feminine, with using that word. It is not exclusive to the masculine. We have both. Yet again, our culture has forced the feminine to kind of grasp that that masculinity of being in our heads and getting caught up in all this. So the softness is kind of what I think is a superpower. Even when a male taps into his own softness, it allows for our feminine nature to soar. We all have been around it, whether it's through work or as parenting or just at a PTA meeting or back to school night. Feminine is about receptivity and standing in our beingness, if that's even a word. Being in a safe space to feel, to reflect, to just breathe, and to regulate our nervous system. I am realizing that the more I slow down, the more I just breathe into my days, flirt with my days, I'm more powerful because I'm less bothered by things. I'm a little more unshakable. I have more clarity and focus. I'm definitely more calm. And when we're in a calm space, that's a great place to make decisions, to look ahead for possibilities, to be creative. I think that's when creativity shows up. And most importantly, it's about capacity and expansion. I am being called to the ordinary at this point in my life. And I joke that I think I saw it on one of the social posts about, that you're getting old when you're looking at a bird and you think you better look up what type of bird it is. I've always thought of bird watchers as kind of being dorky and old. And I know that's not true. So I'm not trying to offend anyone. But I just laugh. Same with hobbies. I'm really into like backgammon and mahjong, and I'm just cracking up because are these like old people hobbies? I don't know, but they're calling to me and I want to listen because I'm so used to just going. And I think that's so common with our culture as well. I want to ensure that we're tapping into this fuel, especially as a woman-owned business that deals predominantly with women. I want women to start small. I kind of call it my 3Ds, depth in the daily details. Just start with your basic stuff and expand on it, whether it's brushing your teeth and, standing on one foot or adding a little extra sauce to, your salad. Whatever it is, just pay attention to those details. Allow the richness of them to surface. Elevate all the simple daily things from what you see when you first wake up in the morning. Is it a chair with a bunch of clothes on it, or is it a beautiful view of the trees outside? Those are little things. From your grooming to how you display your fresh flowers, whatever it is, even how you adorn yourself. Listen, style small, and it can be significant. Style meaning how you dress. So again, how you adorn yourself. Start small. Maybe even get a little bit full of yourself and figure out what adds a little bit more zhuzh or a little bit more life to what you're doing. Maybe it's music or a space of solitude. Revamping rituals, yeah, that might feel a bit stifled maybe, but why not? More routine than sacred maybe? Think about that. Ritual versus a routine. Just shifting the words, like discipline to devotion or privilege instead of punishment. Nature is another great example of how we can slow down. even the seasons. I know what season I'm in, but I'm still playing with it. I want to honor both. I want to honor my ambition, but I also want to honor that my body needs to rest a little bit more as I'm aging. I mean, isn't that what fuel is all about? Like figuring out what feels good in our body, feeling good. I love that there are different types of fuel for us to tap into to create a life that allows us to live more fully. Find your beauty. Hey, Janelle's Skin is a great start. Yes, it's just a skin treatment, but oh, for those of you who know, it is so much more. It's a soul experience. Hey, I want you to tap into your feminine fuel. I want you to follow and lead your days with beauty. And I don't care if it's, just something small. Start somewhere, but make pleasure and play. Those are all forms of beauty. A little more spontaneous, a little bit more regular, and definitely plug them in to those little details daily. Thanks for listening.